Oh boy, we are going back to Rain God Mesa once again for event number 56, and where we are driving racing trucks. And ultimately, I am pretty sure this is not going to be an enjoyable experience. Also, the event is called Chariot of the Gods. And I'm pretty sure I've already driven all 5 trucks available to me up to this point, so I'm going to have to reuse one. Now, I'm not going to reuse the iguana because I reused that more recently. I am thinking about reusing the daimyo, just because I've not driven this thing for a long time. At least in this game I've not driven it for a long time. Yeah, I can cope with this. Anyways, let's go. Last time out on Rain God Mesa. For some of you, that's going to come as a disappointment. To others, a blessing. Well, to be completely honest, I don't consider this to be a blessing because I have a feeling this is going to be even more shitty than the race I had here with the buggies, which I barely managed to beat last time. And I did have my struggles as well, which only adds, of course, to the emotional and abdominal pain. And we've got racing trucks and rally cars for this event. And it looks as though we've got pretty much one for all the family, really. Although at least all of the family members except for one model. And that, I think, is the Revo. But anyways. And already the chaos ensues. Literally just like that. And already plans for strategy have already gone to hell, as I would have anticipated. And basically, all bets are off. I just have to make the least amount of mistakes compared to the AI, and also try to stay out of their tracks, which I know is going to be impossible because they will just be right on my ass no matter what I do or say. They will still be right out there on my ass, basically breathing down my fucking neck like a bunch of cheaters. And it looks as though 2 guys just blew up on their boost tanks. And already just like that, I trample my way into the lead momentarily. And yep, this is a bumpy course. Although, at least I can say vulnerability for the racing trucks is not quite as much of a problem as it was with the buggies, because, well, with the buggies, that was a real struggle. And well, with this, I'm not so sure. But anyways, first lap is complete, and now we move onwards to lap 2. Here at Rain God Mesa. And it is the racing trucks that lead the rally cars at the moment. And as for the leaderboard, I honestly couldn't tell you until the race is done. But at the moment, I'm actually leading this thing. And furthermore, I am actually managing to develop some fighting room. Regardless of how terrible I think it is. Okay, never mind. I thought for sure I could actually get some fighting room, but apparently that's not proven to be the case. So basically, the interval I had to the AI in that one moment has basically been evaporated. Although at the very least, I've not made too many mistakes up to this point, and I'm also managing to keep my foot on the gas where I need to. I'm also managing to not bounce around as much as these AI seem to be doing. which is probably the main reason why I'm still leading this, but anyways. We have a total of 11 cars in this race, as we now begin the final lap here at Rain God Mesa, and apparently this is proving to be a much easier race compared to what I had with the buggies here, which ultimately was the last race I did here at the Mesa before this one, and I have to admit, this one has been a hell of a lot easier, and not just because of the handling, but because of many other things that also, you know, congregate towards how much more of a clean race it's been for me. It's also because I've managed to limit the mistakes, and that's purely what it takes to win a level 4 race if you have the right equipment. It's purely just about damage limitation, really, is what I'm saying. Although, I would imagine since we're now into the home stretch of this course, this is where everything is going to get crazy. And I think we have just one corner left, so yep, this is where the craziness really starts. But again, I'm already on the boost tank and trying to stay away from these AI whilst also trying not to roll the car over, because I know that's what I will do if I'm not cautious. And there we go. Easy win on my first try. And it is a podium sweep for the racing trucks. And just in the post-race, I now rolled the car over for the second time. Well, maybe I'll be able to get some decent shots of this thing without so much of the dust. Maybe I will be able to get a decent shot or something, potentially. Okay, that's a bit too far out. Yeah, that looks about right for a shot. But still, it has to be said, that was a hell of a lot easier than I thought it was going to be here in this race. Probably because the racing trucks have a bit more sturdiness compared to the buggies, because, well, the buggies in terms of the body, they are quite vulnerable. At least in terms of their body and chassis designs, they're quite vulnerable to the bumps, which is probably one of the main reasons on why the previous race I did here was horrible. But this one was a lot less terrible, and I'm actually happy to say that I took this thing to victory lane on my first try. Alright, I think that should do it for the clickbait shots. So, I win by 1.3 seconds over Gascon Pillion, and Svoboda finishes third in what I think is the Springbok Kalahari. Then, in fourth position, we had Wild Mark ahead of Joshua Kirkland, completing the top 5, and then from 6th to last we had Marsden ahead of Bayliss in the Oni Renegade, followed by Reverend Black, Stone, Mafana, and Sigmund Stone finishes last in the second of the 3 Springbok Kalaharis. And to be completely honest, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Alright. One race left, and it is called Howlin' Serenade. Coming up next.